Hello friends, welcome to all. Myself Pradeep Yadav from cdjcollege College of Commerce. Today we are going to be discuss the wide agreement in the subject of business regulatory framework. So in the last few of the videos we've seen what is mean by contract, what is the valid contract, some of this the various basic elements relating to your valid contract. So now we have to be understand what is mean by the wide agreement. When we are discussing the types of contract, at that time we just discuss some of the points relating to your wide agreement into that, but now we have to be discuss into the what concept is considered as your wide agreement, or which contract or which agreement is going to be declared as your wide agreement. So now we are going to be discuss this. So as per section 2G of Indian Contract Act 1872, when any agreement which is not enforceable by law or which is unenforceable by law, that agreement is called as your wide agreement. It means that whenever any agreement which is not fulfilled all the consideration, all the points relating to the valid contract or which is not enforceable by law, it just declared as your wide agreement. In that type of agreement, that agreement is going to be unlawful or not acceptable from the starting of your agreement. If in certain case, if the after making of sub steps is valid and after some time that contract is going to be wide, in that case your contract is going to be declared as a wide by the law when after your contract is misleading by the step of law or it is unable to fulfill the law enforcement. So at that time you have to be understand this concept. Whenever any type of agreement or any type of contract is not able to fulfill the actions which is undertaken by the any of the law, that contract or agreement is considered as your wide. So wide is a very basic element you have to be understand whenever you are making your any type of contract or agreement, because every wide agreement is not able to make complete of action, or you cannot liable or you cannot make any type of wide agreement in a section of law. So we have to be understand which type of law or which type of section is going to be considered as your wide agreement. So as per the Indian Contract Act 1872, there are the 10 types of wide contract which is going to be expressly wide or which are considered as a expressly wide agreement under the section from section 10 to section 56 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. So now we are going to discuss all of this section by one. So now we are going to be discuss about that. So first, so we have to start to understand expressly wide agreements. Expressly wide agreements. So first type of wide agreement is agreement with not capable parties. Section 11. So when we are learning about the capacity of the parties, into that we learn about that what is the capacity of the parties. The person must be a major person. Second, he should be a sound mind person, and then after he is not declared a wide or unlawful person by the any of the law. Okay, it may be it is a foreign country's man, or it is a enemy country's man, or it is a making any type of insolvency or any type of crime. So relating to this person, you are making contract with a minor person, then your parties are not capable to perform that agreement. Then you are making the contract with your any type of unsound mindedness person or who is a mentally disabled person, then your action or your party is not able to perform his action. Or in a case you are making an agreement with an enemy country citizenship person, then also your contract or your agreement is going to be wide under section 11 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. So whenever any type of agreement which is made with a not capable or incapable parties person, that contract is declared as expressly wide agreement. Okay, now the second thing is agreement in a sense of mistake of law or fact. Mistake of law or fact under section 20. So all we know about, whenever you are making agreement, the agreement is must be an lawful objective and lawful thing. You should not break any type of law which is not related with any, or which is revoking the any type of law in the India or any type of the general principle law. So whenever any contract which is made, or which any agreement which is made between the party, and it is by mistake, is just breaking the law or the fact in every sense or any sense of that agreement, the contract or the agreement is considered as a void agreement. Okay, suppose anyone who wanted to make an agreement such as he wanted to be sell electricity in India, or he wanted to be sell any type of cocaine or drug product in India. In that sense, the contract may be void. All things are maybe void, valid, such as a valid partner, valid thing, valid consideration, but the main object, the thing which you are wanted to be sell or wanted to be making trade with, that is that correct? No, it is breaking any type of law in India. So the narcotic product is cannot be able to sell in India. That's why you cannot make such type of contract, because in that you are just breaking the law or the fact, which is not allowed under section 20 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Then the third is under section 24, the consideration is must be a lawful. So agreements consideration is unlawful. Section number 24. So as per section 24, you are making a contract with unlawful consideration, or in absence of your consideration is not considered as a valid contract. Your contract is going to be void. In sense, you have to be considered, or you have to be include a valid type of consideration. So what is the consideration? Consideration is something from which you are gaining, or you have to be written from that agreement. So in every type of contract, every type of agreement, when you are taking a consideration, it must be a lawful, and it is not should be revoking or the any type making the mistake when any type of law. In a simple sense, you are making a contract in that you wanted to kill someone, and from against that you are receiving the money. The consideration is good? No. The making a crime is may not be your consideration. Making a crime or any type of fraud, it may not be considered as a lawful consideration. So whenever you are making an agreement, you should be take a lawful consideration into that agreement. Otherwise your contract, your agreement is going to be invalid or void under section 24. Then we have to be moved to the next point. Point number 4. Agreement to restrict marriage. Under section 26. We all know that every major person and every citizen of India has right to make a choice about his marriage, of his personal life. Any two major person, any two capable person want to marry with each other, they can able to marriage with each other. So any person or any type of agreement which is going to be made to restrict to any person to from making a marriage ceremony or marriage type of function or function in his life, so it is not a valid. So every person has a right to make that. So no person can make any contract related to restriction of the marriage under section 26. But there is an exception that if the marriage is relating with a minor person means the person who is less than 18 years old, and in a sense of your boys it is less than 21 years old, in that case the restriction may be follow or it may be able to perform by the any of the person. But if the both of the parties is a major person and they are able to and capable to making such type of decision in his life, so no person can stop him making such type of action in his life or making such type of marriage. And any type of contract or agreement which involve to restrict such type of marriage, it is not valid agreement under section 26. Then we will move to the next point. Next point is under section 26, restriction to the trade. We all know that the Indian Constitution is given right to the every citizen and every person to make your valid type of trade. You can make a trade and no one person in India can stop you to making such type of trade. So every person who is able to perform a trade in India has a right to make a such type of trade with no restriction. So if any person or any group of person is trying to restrict any type of trade which is not valid or it is not valid under section 27, every person has a right to make a trade. So whenever any person who wanted to make a trade, and if association of person is wanted to trying to stop him, I am giving an example. If some type of people is making a monopoly in a market, monopoly we all know that to getting a capturing all the market, so it is a good? No, it is a not good. So whenever some type of people making a monopoly in a market to restrict to the other person and other competitors to come into the market, so that is considered as your wide contract. That agreement, that type of contract is considered as a wide agreement under section 27 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Then next point is agreement to interest or interfere in a legal proceeding. 6 number is a whenever any person wanted to make any type of legal charge against everyone or anyone, and in that case the legal proceeding is hearing into the court, and any type of person or any group of the people is trying to stop that legal hearing or legal proceeding within the court or outside of the court by making any such of action or any such course of action by the people or by the group of the peoples, that agreement or that such of action is not valid under your Indian Contract Act, because that group of the people is trying or making an agreement to trying to stop that people to making a legal proceeding. And the legal proceeding and legal justice is the one of the basic right which is provided by the Indian Constitution, and it is not followed to making or giving such right to the people. So any type of restriction relating to the restricted to the legal proceeding within the court or outside of the court, it is not valid under section 28 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Then the next point is your under section 29, the void for the uncertainty, the agreement for uncertainty. Under section 29, any type of agreement which is based totally on the uncertainty or any unpredictable course of action, that agreement is not considered as a valid agreement, that considered as a wide agreement. Okay, whenever you are making an agreement, it's supposed to be, or it is fulfill all the legal consideration, because any type of course of action which is not able to perform or which is not predictable in any sense, that is considered as a wide agreement. Okay, if I am making an agreement with any people that if tomorrow morning there will be a rain, okay, I can predict that there is 100% type of rain? No, I am just predicted that. In that sense, I can make any type of agreement on that? No. Okay, if that rain is coming, I will pay him money, or otherwise he will pay money to me. So in that sense, the uncertainties remain. So you cannot make such type of agreement which is not valid under section 29 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Then the relating to this next point is the same, agreement to waivers. Section 30. Under section 30, any type of agreement which is related to the waiver. Waiver means what? Any type of action which is not predictable, in a same sense, which is not predictable or which is not valid. Okay, we all know that various people are playing lottery or any type of rummy type of game, or any type of game, or who is making the giving the money on horse racing or any type of activity. So some of these activities not valid, because the waiver thing is not valid under the Indian Contract Act, and it is a punishable act under the IPC section. So any of the person who making such type of activity without the permission of the government, it is not considered as a valid. So whenever you wanted to make any type of waiver agreement, okay, there is some excuses to that. Various times we seeing that the lottery system is already happened in India. In a newspaper we seeing ad about this, but basically that thing is taking permission from the government. Okay, that thing is going to be taking permission from the government. Now we seeing the Dream 11, such type of games is making such type of things, but basically they are taking the permission by the government for making such type of activity, and the permission if taken by the central government, then it is accepted from this section. They can make such type of agreement from making the permission by the central government. Otherwise, any type of such activity which is related to the waiver, it is going to be wide agreement under section 30 of the Indian Contract Act. Then we have to go to the next point, which is the agreement to the impossible act. Agreement to the impossible act. Under section 56, any type of agreement which is related with a impossible type of act, it is not permissible by the government of India. Okay, whenever any person is making a contract related with this, it is not valid for any of the consideration. Okay, we all know that the government is making the contract only which is related to the performable activities. Suppose anyone tomorrow is going to be making an agreement to take you on the moon or any type of Mars, but in current situation it is possible? No. Or anyone have to make you promise to after your death he will take you at the heaven or to the hell. It is possible? Anyone see the heaven or hell in after the life? No, no one can able to see that thing, or it is not performable. No one can revoke the life of the people after the death. So making such type of agreement to revoke the life of the people after making such type of agreement, so it is not valid. So any of the agreement which is unpredictable or unactionable, it is not valid under section 30 under section 56 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. And the last 10th point is last point number 10th is Agreement without consideration. Agreement without consideration under section 25th. Under section 25th. When you are making contract, your consideration must be lawful. With this, it must be happen it there. So you have, when you are making the contract, your contract or your agreement must be fulfill or include the agreement which we was actually discussed in some of the last videos. And there are some exception to this. If you have a natural relationship with some other, your natural affection with some other, then it is going to be valid. If you are not consider or you are not taking any type of consideration. Otherwise, if there is any type of gift to given to any type of the people or any type of charity function, then also your consideration is maybe accepted or exempted from that type of agreement. So under section 25, agreement without consideration is not a valid contract. It must be treated as your void contract. So here are the some of the 10 points or 10 type of agreement which are going to be expressly void agreement, which is in a fun sense that agreement from starting that agreement is considered as your void contract. Whenever you are starting to make such type of agreement, it is considered as your void agreement. Okay, so we will rest our here lecture today. For next lecture we will come with a new points. Thank you.